Hey nerds, welcome back to the Blizzard ANZ StarCraft 2 Pro League week number 2, where we are in match number 5 between Legacy and 1F Pro. 1F Pro currently leading on one map with me and Micah taking out Probe there on Neon Violet Square. So now we're going to be hopping into battle on the boardwalk between Azure and Rize.
Yeah, we sure are. Not easy to predict me or Micah beating Probe by any stretch of the imagination, but it makes things interesting, Zeph. Now, Azure will really have a little bit of pressure put on him here, and I think on paper you've got to favor him, but Rize, he's a strong Protoss player, and he could definitely cause an upset once again and put 2 wins on the board for 1F Pro. So let's jump in and rehost the lobby as we've got the wrong server hosted.
Come on, mate, get it together. Wow, you had one job.
I have one job, indeed, indeed.
It's all right, we'll get that sorted out. In the meantime, guys, while we organize that lobby real quick, make sure you tell your friends that this is on. Get on that Twitter and your Discord channels. Get them to come hang out and watch some Australian New Zealand plus friends StarCraft 2 and cheer on these teams here. Pretty good spread of players. All the matches have been pretty exciting so far. We've had 3 of them go to an ace match. And getting at least 4 maps out of the other one. So it's been a pretty fun time this far in.
Not bad.
Yeah. Again, we've got what is it? A 3,500 USD prize pool coming out here for these dudes, which is pretty sick. Especially since the conversion rate makes it that much more delicious for us.
Oh yeah.
It's 1,400 for first, 800 for second, 400 for third, and 200 apiece for fourth and fifth. So got to get them points on the board. These teams battling it out, for the top amount of dollary dues right there.
I'm actually kind of disappointed that you didn't segue that into a pun about battle on the boardwalk. So I'll do it for you. Spawning up here in the top left-hand corner on battle on the boardwalk, playing for Team Legacy, it's Azure.
And in the top right, the Protossian from 1F Pro, it's Rize.
So what are we going to see from Rize? This is what I've been waiting for all day, man. I want to see, is he going to do something straight up or is he going to get real cheesy really quickly? We could see proxy robotics. We could see proxy stargates and oracles flying into Azure's base very quickly. But at the same time, Azure should be able to predict it that Rize is more likely than other Protoss players to try something aggressive. So maybe Azure is going to be very committed to scouting. He'll probably throw down a blind engineering bay just for turrets and things like that. So while I do expect Rize to get aggressive, I think that Azure can maybe predict that. And maybe that adjusts Rize's game plan a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it is a weird map, right? Like, I think the last time we saw this, we saw, was it Luth go straight for the gold base? So you've got a lot of chances to do cheeky stuff, whether it's taking a gold base, doing a proxy, or some other shenaniganry. So we'll see what happens. So far, so good. All the structures are in their bases. Nothing too crazy just yet, as you were just having a look around Rize's base. And there it is, boys, in the bottom left. He does drop that CC.
Hello. That's wild. And it's like, well, Protoss could be doing so many different things to try and counter something like this. How does Azure plan to go from here? Are we going to see Bio? Are we going to see Mech? I'm just not sure. I haven't really seen him play, especially on the new patch. We're in uncharted territory, and that's what makes a game in a series like this so exciting. Meanwhile, Azure going for the standard sort of wall off. There's the reactor. He's getting a factory as well. Rize has all that information, has not elected to go for a proxy. I think Rize should be going for maybe another scout. He definitely wants to get that information about, is Azure expanding down the bottom left?
He sent this Stalker out to tickle his Reaper friend off the map for the moment.
Oh, it's going to be Cyclones, I think.
Yeah, Cyclones have become kind of like the staple unit, you know, the meat and veg of the Terran army lately, because, I mean, they're pretty good if you go mech, of course, but also pretty good against those Protoss units. Very handy, especially with that rapid-fire lock-on. You can help shoot some stuff out of the sky. And at the moment, Rize is heading over with a second Stalker to continue poking at this reactor. And in fact, he might
He's gonna get it.
Kill this.
Oh, he's going to get it. And
Wait,
he does.
Mine,
There's
please.
a winner mine. Come on, borrow, buddy.
Oh my god.
Oh, and the Stalker gets away. That's going to regenerate his shields. Meanwhile, Azure was poking around Rize's base with his Reaper. But losing that reactor is pretty bad. And now, Azure has to go and like recreate that reactor, and he can't make any more units for the time being. All he has is this one Cyclone. I suppose the saving grace is that he does have this gold base down at the bottom left. He'll be able to get a good economy. Lots of production facilities will be able to be made. Yeah. And this Reaper is on a road to nowhere. And I don't think he can actually jump down from there either.
No, I don't think you can. Oh, well, at least he's got those sweet, juicy gold minerals back at home. And he is making a third CC already. Starport just finishing up, and he's going to swap that over with his racks onto a tech lab, maybe? We'll see what he does. Or is the factory going to leap back on that one?
Factory could definitely leap back on that. Azure could honestly play mech. And it's like, well, if you make a tech lab on a barracks and you float it away instead of making stim, that might be a tower we could be seeing mech this game.
Yeah, and that would be pretty sweet. Azure, a guy that I know is a bio player for sure, and things have really switched it up since this patch has come through. He's got to be feeling not too bad. I mean, losing that reactor, not the greatest. He was a bit busy killing off, 3 probes over at Rize's base. But he is going to need to park something down here at this gold base. There's only a bunker with a single unit inside in the form of a Marine. So not quite enough to deal with this just yet.
Yeah, he needs to bring back maybe some Cyclones. But the Cyclones have actually pushed forward, and a great force field there and some fantastic micro from Rize. Even coming back and healing up the Stalker. Loses those Cyclones. Does Azure. And now he's in a really dicey spot now, Zeph, because he can't actually mine from this base at all.
No, we can't. Now, finally, some Cyclones come down here, accompanied by the Vikings, so Rize does have to leave, but my goodness, did he lose a lot of mining time on that base in the meantime. Did lose 4 workers as well, and Rize has done a really good job at keeping the heat on Azure right now. He's now marching over towards the natural base with another 5 Stalkers.
Yeah, this could just be a little annoying. He might even be able to kill that reactor again. Oh, does want to be careful. Does want to be careful. But if he can take these depots out, he's almost going to supply block Rize. And some forward warp-ins, some offensive warp-ins coming down with that Warp Prism.
Oh, can Azure hold on here? Yeah, haven't actually mentioned that just yet, but that's definitely a factor. If he throws that down into the bottom left while he pushes up here, there's no detection down there, and he's already pulling SCVs here at the front, trying to deflect these Stalkers. Now he does bruise them up, and Rize does micro back with the Warp Prism, but he's continuing to warp in here.
Oh, this is brutal. Rize, he's got the DTs. What can he achieve with them? How many scans has Azure saved up? He's almost got 1 scan on that orbital command in the middle. And maybe another one down there at the gold. There's no blink on these Stalkers, but he does have the Warp Prism, so he can kind of use them to blink. The scan needs to go down, but he actually loses the tank, and he blinks out with the Warp Prism. Some fantastic moves coming down from Rize. He's putting a hurt on the Terran player.
Yeah, Azure's having a hard time, man. There's some warp-ins going down at the bottom left as well with the DTs, and there is a scan available there, a Cyclone and a bunker, but these DTs, I'm not sure if that's actually enough to get rid of these. No, it's not, and all of them will escape.
Going for that third on the right-hand side, darts back. He's only got 1 more scan available. So a couple more DT warp-ins I think will be going down. I just got enough for another warp in. He's got to be careful though. If he keeps locking on with that cyclone, he could lose it to the DTs. I'd love to see Dark Templar blink, to be honest.
Oh man. Oh wow, the Citizen's Arrest actually did pretty well there, all things considered. Now he's finally got the turret finished, but guess what? He's just going to start warping in Stalkers at this point. With the DTs to support if he can snipe those turrets. And Azure's spread a little thin here. He's trying to send units down here all the way from the main base to help defend. Meanwhile, he's kind of containing his main from the group of Stalkers that was originally down in the natural base.
Yeah, it just never ends, Zeph. I think Azure really should have gone for some tanks. He stayed on Cyclones for too long. Now he's got some more tanks coming up. The only other tank that we've seen in this game got sniped by some Dark Templars earlier. But as he gets a decent tank count up, maybe he can start to defend and push Rize back. Scan goes out, but he actually doesn't have a lot of DPS, and the Dark Templar can enter the base. Another scan goes down, and that's a lot of mining that Azure's not doing. He'd really like to be using those scans on mules.
That's it. And another group of Stalkers tries to come in here. That base is getting pretty low. Stalkers hit quite hard here. And he's forced to use the SCVs to repair while they get picked off individually. And Rize has done so much damage this game. He's almost up to 20 worker kills. In fact, just hitting that milestone and continuing to pick off more workers still. The Cyclone goes down. And guess what? He's also not done harassing at the natural.
This is insane. I love it. Just a Warp Prism, Stalkers, Dark Templars in a dream, and he's making it work. He's making it happen. He's up almost 40 supply right now, Zeph. That third base is finished on the right-hand side. Rize has a fantastic economy, and he'll be able to transition very nicely as the game goes on. Some Dark Templar in the main as well, picking them up in that Warp Prism. Needs to be a little careful because these Cyclones will be able to get a lock on and probably take that out, and he does. But how many more scans are left back at home?
God.
And the answer is none.
Death, he's killed 46 workers! The humanity!
Oh, it's a massacre.
Oh my gosh, and he still actually just can't deal with these two different groups of units at once. This Cyclone...
This attack speed going on for 3 minutes now.
Gosh. It's just, it doesn't end. He can't clean it up. He just doesn't have enough. He's now morphing in Hellbats to try and help out here, but he's lost almost all the SCVs down here. He's had to replenish them as he goes. And he's still holding onto a lot of scans just in case DTs are a thing. Finally cleans up the Stalkers down there. And with the elimination of those Warp Prisms, there's still one somewhere on the map that just got made better. He finally gets like 10 seconds to breathe, but round 2 is here already.
More like round 10. Rize has just had his foot on the accelerator the whole game, and now he can use the Warp Prism once again to dart these units forward. The Dark Templar with so much DPS at GG. Rize takes game number 2 for his team and puts them in a commanding lead.
Yeah, my goodness. What a game from Rize. That was super entertaining. I really feel for Azure. Like, I would be so frustrated trying to deal with that on 2 fronts for as long as he did. That was, what, an 11-minute game? And how many minutes of that was just non-stop Stalker and DT aggression?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's a rough one, but very well played by Rize.
Yeah, it was like Rize kind of attacked it 4 minutes and then just didn't stop attacking. And I was almost feeling like he was going to maybe go for a one-base cheese, but I'm glad that he didn't because the attacks that he was doing there and the micro that he was able to showcase was phenomenal. Very frustrating for a turn play to have to deal with. Losing the reactor very early on really hurt Azure. Like I was saying, he needed to get more tanks out to be able to defend against that. But too many Cyclones, they're not that good against the new Stalker. They're still good, but you need to have something else just to buffer. And Rize just never let that happen. So hats off to him. His team only needs one more win to close out the night already. And I mean, we've only been going for half an hour. Yeah,
how crazy is that? So, you know, the weight of the world rests on Pig Jr.'s shoulders here for Legacy, coming into the 3rd and possibly final map if yours can close it out for his team. So a lot riding on this one, a lot of pressure. Catalyst is going to be the map. So guys, as always, we'll take a couple minutes break, get that lobby set up, and be back with you shortly. Don't go away.